Hello, class. This is Demetrius Wilson. This is Business Marketing. We are now on Chapter 14. We are getting very, very close. All you have left is Chapter 15 and Chapter 16. Chapter 14 is on customer satisfaction, loyalty, and empowerment. A couple of things that I deal with on a daily basis in my day job. Customer empowerment, very, very important. You might not hear that term a lot. You might hear employee empowerment a lot, but customer empowerment is very important as well. Providing tools that enable customers to take control or influence marketing, and you want them to positively influence marketing. Want to kind of weaponize them as people that can help you get the word out and help positive influence get out there about your product and or service. Learning objectives. Understand strategies involving online and personal forms of influencer marketing. Relate influencer marketing to other forms of social communities like social media and marketing strategies. You have customer communities, of course, and word of mouth is like they say, it's so powerful. The passing of information and opinions verbally has a powerful influence on purchasing decisions. So let me give you an example. If I go to a restaurant and it's good, I may tell three of you. If I go to a restaurant and it's terrible and I get food poisoning, I'm going to tell every one of you, and I'm also going to tell every one of you to tell your family and friends. Buzz, it refers to the amount of word of mouth going on in the market. Companies try to create buzz about their products by sending a press release, holding events, offering free samples, writing blogs, or releasing podcasts. Good ways to get the buzz going on about your product and or service. More on customer communities. Some companies consider customer service to be a marketing channel to the point that they train their customer service representatives to identify sales opportunities and pitch products. And I have companies that I've worked for companies that do that. Definitely, you say, okay, well, if you want this product as well, we actually do that here. Let me transfer you over to a different department. Let me send this lead over, and they'll be able to assist you. Companies such as AOL and do that, and Dell do that as well. Other companies consider the customer service to be a marketing channel only to the extent that it generates positive word of mouth. So we don't want you to try and sell anything else. We just want you to give the customer an ultimate customer service experience. So do a great job with tough customers and encourage a positive review on a website. The latter perspective recognizes that when customers want service, they don't want to be sold, but it also recognizes that empowered customers can help market a product, and they are very, very powerful in that regard. Influencer panels, influencer marketing, targeting people known to influence others. So if you target like a broker definitely influences everybody else because they have a book of business. I have 60 clients. I'm a broker. If you target me and you'd convince me to use 24-hour fitness as opposed to LA Fitness, then you've influenced a marketer, and that's much more important than you influencing just somebody who's a simple consumer like myself. In other terms. So in one instance, Demetrius A is a person who's a broker and has 60 clients, and Demetrius B is just an individual who wants to go work out. The individual A is going to be a little bit more important. The community is a social group that centers its attention on a particular brand or product category. Social network is another term for a community. Let's talk about the different types of influencer panels. So you have an active influencer willing to tell others, but more importantly, others listen and act on the influencer's opinion. So it's not just that you like the product and you're willing to tell others, is that people listen to you. If nobody listens to you, then it's not as good. It's not as beneficial. Interested has a great intrinsic interest in the product category than the average user. A heavy user actually uses or consumes offering regularly, preferably more than the average user. Loyal sticks with one brand when it works. Note, however, this category could include someone who isn't loyal because they have the right offering, meeting his or her needs. It just that their needs have not been fully met as of yet. So they might just be loyal because you're the best game in town, and that's what they kind of have to roll with for now. A lead user willing to try new products and offer feedback. In some instances, it's possible to modify an offering to suit an individual consumer. When it is, you want to use lead users to suggest the modifications so that you can see how and why they do so. So how do you find influencers? They have to be actively recruited, right? Ask the customer to take a survey. You'll be able to figure out certain things, especially in that other box if they put in a lot of additional information. And send random surveys to identify good panel participants, right? You'll find your the right individuals. You just have to do a little work in order to do so. 3 questions to ask before activating a panel. What results are expected from the influencer panel? What or how much the panel members are willing to do, right? Are they being paid or are they not being paid? What's in it for the panel members, and that goes along with that as well. I had an individual that used to work for me, and he would do those things where he would go and he would try out, new type of chips, and he would give his feedback, and they would give him $50. He'd be on his way. One time he had to go try out some cigars, and I think he got sick because they just put him in a room and they just smoked these cigars over and over and over again, and he ended up getting sick. Social media, mostly everybody, 99.9% of people use social media. Social networking sites such as Facebook and LinkedIn are used to create communities. Viral marketing just means that it's going over the internet, the web. The spread of companies' messages like a computer virus through the community. Blogs, a form of online communication that help spread viral marketing messages, or a blog, which should be a video log. Social media, a catch-all phrase for the online channels of communication that build communities. Social media includes social networking sites, blogs, podcasts, wikis, blogs, and other internet-based applications that enable consumers to contribute content. Social media spending for marketing purposes doubled in 2008 and continued to rise through 2011 despite the poor economy. So even though the economy was poor, how much money you have to spend on this digital media is still increasing. In fact, Forrester, a respected research company, estimated spending to top over $3 billion in 2014. Fun fact. Let's see if somebody can go back and check and verify and validate that. Takeaways, as always, read those on your own. This one's very, very short. Customer communities form around social networks, which marketers can use to promote offerings and gather market information, right? So we want to promote, then we want to gather market information, then use that information to promote a bigger and better product. Additional learning objectives: understand the value of customer loyalty, distinguish attitudinal loyalty from behavior loyalty, and describe the components of successful loyalty programs. So you can think of it like this: loyalty as a leaky bucket. No matter how much water comes into the bucket, if you have a hole at the bottom of the bucket, it's never going to be full. You have to keep flooding things in. But if you stop that, if you put a stopper in a hole in the bottom of the bucket, then the water will stay there. It will remain. And the water is a metaphor for your clients. Loyalty management. Early research on loyalty showed the loyal customers were less expensive to market to, of course, because they're going to stay. You don't need to convince them. More willing to pay a premium for a particular brand. They're okay with paying, more money. More willing to try new products under the same brand. More likely to recommend the brand to their friends. Of course, it's going great for me, so I'll recommend it to you. More willing to overlook a problem related to the brand, right? Something happens like, no big deal. Things happen sometimes. Loyalty has 2 dimensions. Behavioral loyalty. The customer buys the product regularly and does not respond to competitors' offerings. Like, you know what? I'm fine. Like, I have an Apple. I'm fine with my phone. I do not respond to Samsung's offerings, even though I know that the phone is great. Attitudinal loyalty, the degree to which the customer prefers or likes the brand, right? So how much do you prefer? How much do you truly like the brand? Loyalty programs in all companies, need to do this, have to do this. And as soon as I come up to the example, I'll give you guys an interesting one about one of the loyalty programs that I was at a restaurant right by, or eatery right by my job. So marketing efforts that reward a person or organization for frequent purchases and the consumption of offerings. So data collected from loyalty programs can be used for designing and improving the company's offering. Cross-promotion, a method in which 2 or more groups act together to reach potential customers, right? So share your customer group and I'll share mine because they're probably the same people, right? I sell bikes and you sell tires for bikes. Let's exchange information lists and let's both get paid. So positive effect of loyalty programs. So longevity effect. Good loyalty program lengthen the lifetime value of the customers by increasing their switching costs, right? So I've been here so long, it would cost me so much to take the DirecTV box out and do all this extra stuff, so I'm just going to keep it. Blocker effect. Loyal customers don't pay attention to competitors' messages, right? So I'm not even paying attention to you, Samsung, because I'm fully, happy with what's going on with my Apple. Spreader effect. So loyal customers buy additional products from vendors to which they are loyal. And accelerator effect. Loyal customers buy this product more frequently in order to move to the next level of their loyalty program. So that's me. I had this things from Charlie's, a sandwich place, and it was right by the job. And I had a sandwich. They say if you eat 8 more, you get the ninth one free. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going there every day. So I went there probably like 8 or 9 days straight just to get sandwiches, and I got my free sandwich. Not that I never went there again because I did like their sandwiches, but it did, give me that little nudge or push to go there. Criteria for successful loyalty programs: good performers, a good performance by a company, responsiveness by a company, shared identity among participants, clear benefits, and community development. More key takeaways, as always, like I say, read those. It'll help you on your quizzes, on your tests, and just also help you to understand the subject matter a lot better. Customer loyalty is both behavioral and attitudinal. Habitual purchases, like continual over and over again, are a form of behavioral loyalty. Cause-related marketing can foster attitudinal loyalty among a company's community of customers, as can loyalty programs. So read the rest of that. Be sure you're clear on everything and the key takeaways. Additional learning objectives: understand satisfaction and satisfaction strategies, design a customer satisfaction measurement system, and describe a complaint management strategy. So, you want to measure the satisfaction of your customers, of the consumers, and you also want to have some type of system where those complaints go. Who do they go to? Is the best person who can deal with people? Can they smooth it over? And then what's your process? So, for instance, I saw a guy do it really, really well on, I think it was on TripAdvisor. They talked about what a bad time they had at the hotel. The guy reached out to him, talked to him, fixed the problem, told him what they did at the hotel to fix the problem, and then he posted it. He posted a conversation that they had, which showed the guy now talking positive about the hotel, and then he posted what they did to fix it. So that was great. Sometimes something like that can, be even better than if nothing bad ever happened before. If you can turn that ship around, people really, really like that. It's America. People love a comeback story. Customer satisfaction, feeling that a person experiences when an offering meets their expectations, right? So I feel good. What I bought meets my expectations. I'm perfectly fine. I'm happy. Improving customer satisfaction is a goal sought by many businesses. Customer satisfaction scores have been relatively stable for the past few years. Companies' performance on key factors is critical, both in terms of loyalty and satisfaction it generates among its customers. Customer satisfaction strategies. There are two critical ways to improve customer satisfaction. One, establish appropriate expectation in the minds of customers. So this is what we're going to do. I'm not going to send you to the moon, but I'll send you to a star. Deliver on those expectations. So I'm going to deliver, not going to deliver to the moon. I deliver you to the star. Now you're happy. Now, if I do end up delivering you to the moon, right, then things are great, right? But, you don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. At the very least, you want to, underpromise and overdeliver. Another customer satisfaction strategy involves offering customers warranties and guarantees. That Hyundai 100,000 mile, 10-year warranty guarantee. Hey, greatest thing ever. I feel secure. I'm driving this car however I want because I know they're going to fix it if something goes wrong. Post-purchase dissonance, right? So this is, especially if you buy something big and now you're having that buyer's remorse. A form of dissatisfaction is more likely to occur when an expensive product is purchased. The buyer purchases it infrequently and has little experience with it, and there is a perception that is high risk purchase, right? So like a car, a house, something like that, you want to make sure that you get the right thing. Measuring customer satisfaction. Effective customer satisfaction measures how effective customer satisfaction measures have several components. Customers' expectations. So what do they actually expect? So what they expect, if they expect more, and even though you try and reset those expectations, they expect what they expect. Whether the organization performed well enough to meet them, so did we, perform up to par, and a degree of satisfaction. Complaint management strategies. People who use every internet site possible to bash a company are called verbal terrorists, and that's, it's absolutely ridiculous. Hey, try and get your stuff done, the right way, but, I've never been anybody to, I'm going everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, everything to just, bash your product. It's typically a good way to, or a suitable way to get it done without doing all of that. But sometimes, hey, I guess that maybe that's necessary to get your point across. The Net Promoter Score is a number of recommendations or recommenders an offering has minus the number of complainers. So recommenders, let's say they're 20, minus complainers, let's say they're 5, 15, that's your Net Promoter Score. When a complaint is made, the process for responding to it is as important as the outcome. So what's our process? Does it just sit there and I respond back to the person in 5 months? right? What's your process? It has to be nailed down. It has to be consistent, right? It shouldn't be I give you 10 free breakfasts and I give the other person, a bowl of cereal, right? That wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be consistent. A company that outsources its services nonetheless has to make sure that customer complaints are handled as diligently as possible. Otherwise, customers will be left with a poor impression. Like, hey, you're outsourcing everything. Then when I have a problem, you can't fix it. People get a bad taste in their mouth, and they're definitely going somewhere else. Handling the complaint process, which is very important. Something happens with any of my associates, I get the next, I'm the next next level of defense, and then up to my manager. I typically try and make sure that nothing goes beyond me, and if it goes beyond me, it's because it's not within my pay grade to approve. So handling the complaint process, you want to listen carefully to the complaint, acknowledge the customer's feelings, right? Be empathetic about it, determine the root cause of the problem, offer a solution, gain agreement on the solution, and communicate the process of resolution. So if I do this, will you agree that you won't bash us on Facebook? Yes, of course I will. Say, well, let's agree this is what the process will be, and I'll follow up with you on Wednesday morning to ensure everything went well. Follow up if appropriate, and record the complaint and resolution. Why do you record the complaint and resolution? Because maybe someone may have to go back to that, and also it just gives good record keeping if that company or that individual comes back to you or to your company. So offering failure, and failure does happen. Now, failures can be attributed to one or more of the following gaps. The communication gap, overstating the offering's performance level, thereby creating unrealistic expectations on the part of customers. Hey, if you put this on, you're going to fly. And you actually don't fly, you're just going to run faster. The knowledge gap, not understanding customers' expectations or needs, which then leads a company to create a product that disappoints the customer. So if I don't truly know your needs, right, I need a computer that can turn into a surface and I can type on it, and I don't realize what you need, and then I put together a computer that doesn't have touchscreen, then you didn't get what you wanted. It was a failure. The standards gap, setting performance standards that are too low despite what is known about the customer's requirements, right? So you set the bar too low. You need to set the bar a little bit higher to at least meet the customer's expectations. The delivery gap, failing to meet the performance standards established for an offering, right? I needed for it to do 1, 2, 3, and it only did 1, 2. More key takeaways, measuring customer satisfaction is an important element of customer empowerment, right? But satisfaction alone is a minimal level of acceptable performance, right? We don't want people to be accepted, say, I'm okay with what you got. You want to blow people's minds so they continue to buy from you, and then they continue to tell other people how great things are. You go to a restaurant, they blow your mind, you're going to tell some people, right? Don't just be, how was your dinner? It was cool, right? Nothing to write home about. Last learning objectives, apply the general ethical principles and concepts to online marketing. Explain the laws that regulate online and other types of marketing. So always, each these chapters has a component of ethics in it. Sugging, this is selling under a guise or phony front. While sugging isn't illegal, it isn't fair, right? So, you putting up a different front. This is who's selling these, but that's not really the actual company. The caveat emptor, let the buyer beware, or it's your own fault if you have to buy it and it doesn't work, right? So it's they say buyer beware. You should research things, you should check things out, but that's not necessarily so ethical or fair to the consumer. Legal requirements. Currently, there are no regulations regarding thugging. Specifically, the CAN-SPAM Act prohibits the use of email, faxes, and other technology to randomly push a message to a potential customer. So that's a start. Permission marketing, a term that was created to suggest that marketers should always ask for permission to sell or to offer buyers marketing messages. Because of trust issues and the overuse of permission marketing, many consumers create dump accounts or email addresses they use whenever they need to register for something online. So you know what? I know I'm going to have to put in an email address, and I know you're going to send me an email, so I'm going to make up this email that I never go check. And it's just going to have 500,000 emails in it with all these advertisements, and then my email is not going to have anything. It's going to be nice and clean and just from the people who I want to hear from. Privacy laws, U.S. privacy laws apply to both internet marketing and other forms of commerce. The Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act of 1999 requires financial institutions to provide written notice of their privacy policies, right? So you have to have written notice. You receive these, and I know you guys all tear them up, right? I'm not saying that I read them all either, but you have to know and understand how people are selling or sending your information elsewhere. Privacy policies are statements regarding how a company will use and protect the consumer's private data. It might say we're going to protect it all. It might say we're going to sell it all. Privacy policies and privacy laws apply to both business customers and individual consumers. Uniform Commercial Code, or the UCC, is a group of laws that govern commercial practices in the United States. Because let's say I have something and I'm transporting it to Utah, now you have to say, okay, well, who has jurisdiction here and things of that nature when you're dealing with the UCC or the Uniform Commercial Code. Warranty, right? Like I talked about, warranty for liability for the Hyundais. A promise by the seller that an offering will perform as the seller said it would, right? So it performed the way that I said it would, and things are great. But if it doesn't, then now we have a problem. An express warranty is an oral or written statement regarding how the product should perform and the remedies available to the consumer in the event that the offering fails. So this bike should fly, right? Like the Jetsons. If it doesn't, then you know what? These are the remedies. An implied warranty is an obligation for the seller to provide an offering of at least average quality beyond any written statements, right? So, it has to be reasonable. It has to be average quality. If you don't have that, then we have a problem. That's implied. It's implied that what I'm purchasing from you actually works. Protecting your company, which is very, very important. As a marketer, you have the obligation to protect your company from consumers who might not have honest intentions. A bot, which is short for robot, is a kind of program that performs automatic functions online. A lot of companies, continue to do that, continue to use macro programs. It's very difficult to protect against phishing or soliciting personal information in order to steal an identity and use it to generate cash fraudulently. But if you work for a company, they should tell you like, hey, this is what's been going on, this is what's been going out, this is how you handle it. Don't answer those emails that you know are not from somebody that you know. Making sure your customer contact policies protect your consumers or your customers, and can also help to protect them against phishing from someone pretending to be you or your company as well. And that happens too. That happens a lot in the marketplace, especially the one that I work in. So last key takeaway, sugging is selling under any phony type of front. It includes posting fake reviews about products online, which a lot of companies do. Sugging damages a seller's trust among buyers and should never be done in the United States. So that's slide 35 or 35. That's it for chapter 14. Next week we'll get into 15 and 16, and this class will officially be completed. So as always, I want you guys to ensure that you watch this, take whatever quizzes and or tests are required for this week, and then and also obviously we'll read through the material prior to doing so, and then and that's it. And then we move on to 15 and 16. I know everybody's happy about that. So as always, you guys have a good day and a great week.